Number 5 on my list is knives, and I'll tell you why. Knives are extremely useful in survival situations, as we know, but the reason they're at number 5 on my list is because they can be substituted. You can use the top of a tin can as a sharp blade. You can even use a sharp rock, to replace a knife. I'm not arguing that you shouldn't bring a knife with you in a survival situation, and in almost every survival situation you will have a knife, but they can be replaced if you lose your knife or if you forget your knife. Number 4 on my list is waterproof clothing, or clothing that stays warm while it's wet. So a woolen hat like this one, this beanie, will keep me warm while it's wet. Behind me I've got my actual survival bug out jacket. This is waterproof, it's warm, it's got fleece around the neck, keeps your neck nice and warm. Waterproof and warm clothing is extremely important and could easily save your life. Number 3 on my list is not water itself, but ways to hold water. You can do this as simply as bringing a drink bottle or a canteen, like military style canteens. One thing I use is this big 20-litre bag. It's really light. You can see how compact it gets. I have been in a real survival situation before, and one of the biggest problems I had was I had no way to carry water. Water was everywhere, I had no way to carry it with me. I think this is an extremely important thing to think about. If you lose your drink bottle, at least have Ziploc bags, because if you find a waterfall, you can't always stay at the waterfall. Number 2 on my list is firelighting equipment. These are really good. These are the Yuko matches. I've done a video on them earlier today. They are stormproof, they're really good matches, highly recommend. They're quite affordable too. But the thing about matches is they will always be beaten out by a lighter, and a simple Bic lighter could easily put these to shame. Make sure to have multiple ways to light a fire on you. Firelighting equipment such as ferro rods don't take up much room, neither do matches, neither does a lighter. Why not have all 3 in different areas of your bag? Knowledge. Knowledge is my number 1 thing in my top list, my top 5 of things that you should have if you want to survive a survival situation. Now I want to combine the number 1 spot of knowledge with rescue equipment, and I'll tell you why. The first thing that you want to think about if you get stuck in a real survival situation is how you're going to get out of it. Simply having rescue equipment and a little bit of knowledge. You don't need a knife, you don't need firelighting equipment, you don't need warm clothes. If you know what to do, you can still survive that situation. Rescue equipment such as whistles. I've got a whole compartment dedicated to whistles in my survival tackle box. There it is there. Whistles are the first way that a ground operated search and rescue squad will try and contact you. So it's always good to have a whistle that can go back. Obviously EPIRBs, mountain radios, they're all really good as well. And if you've got the knowledge to get through the survival situation for 2 or 3 days, then you don't need a knife, you don't need firelighting equipment, you can use a bow drill or another method. You'll figure out a way. Always keep your brain sharp.